Hey, this is Squirrel, and I'm one of Blue Season Bali's finalists for the Best Dive Job in the World, 2014-2015. Soon, I will be traveling to Bali, where I will be competing with 7 other contestants for the dream job, a year as a dive instructor on the Island of the Gods. But first, a huge thank you to the sponsors. Without their contributions, none of this would be possible. And it's a huge opportunity. So sponsors, thank you so much. In the meantime, I'm preparing a few little videos for you guys to get to know me a little bit more. Hope you guys enjoy. Now, since my fellow competitor and friend Alicia is also from Canada, and I don't want to get things to get too repetitive, so some of the 10 things that I'll bring to Bali will be Canadian and some of them will be Quebecer as I know it, because that is the Canadian province that I come from. So let's start with the flags. I've got these two, because anywhere around here that you find the Canadian flag, you find the Quebec flag waving as well. Now the Canadian flag, the white bit is supposed to represent Canada, and the red bits used to be blue because they're supposed to represent the ocean that is on either side of our country, but they changed it to red because they thought that it looked too much like the French flag. In the middle, we have the maple leaf. Now, the maple tree is Canada's national tree. I wish I could show you what one looks like right now, but in the winter, they all look pretty bare, so there's no actual maple leaves on them. But let's do a quick throwback to my entry video. Also, when I was a kid in the fall, I would love to collect the colorful leaves on the ground and keep them between books to preserve them. And recently, when I was cleaning out my old stuff, I found a box where I kept some of my favorites. So these are the pieces of the national tree that I will be bringing with me. A quick Google search tells me that Canada doesn't actually have a national flower. However, Quebec's national flower is depicted on the flag, the fleur de lis, which translated to English is a lilac. So here is the lilac that I will be bringing to Bali. Most Canadians very enthusiastically follow hockey, and most Quebecers love the Habs. So this is the shirt that I chose to wear to an international, or NHL, sporting event. It's red, it's got the logo for Les Montréal Canadiens, and at any Habs game you will find a sea of these shirts. I have never been to a hockey game, let alone a Habs game. However, it is my understanding that real fans do not bring anything to cheer on the sport other than their hands and their vocal cords. However, Quebecers at games drink beer, and the cups that they drink the beer from, they wave vigorously. So the Quebec film that I'm going to want to share with you guys is called La Guerre des Tucs. The film is about these 2 rival gangs of kids who go into a snowball fight with each other. And for most of it, it's a comedy and it's really fun to watch, and it reminds me of my childhood. Just because all I remember from growing up in Quebec is covered in snow, but I do remember having snowball fights and building forts and sledding and all that, so this movie does bring back some nice memories, although it does end quite darkly. My favorite Canadian dish, poutine, born and bred in Quebec and then spread over Canada, but between you and me, the other provinces don't really do it right. The main ingredients are potato fries, gravy, and cheese curds. Now it's really important to get the cheese curds right. If it's shredded cheese, it won't work because it has to melt a little bit but still not be compromised, right? And the gravy is kind of how you put your spin on your poutine. Some places do like a beef base or like a mushroom base. Some places put maple syrup in their gravy. And this restaurant also got creative because they put additional toppings. And the one that I ordered is the one with smoked meat because it's very Montreal. But the basic is just the 3 ingredients that I need. So potatoes, cheese, and gravy. And that's probably what I'm going to bring to Bali to share with my fellow contestants. And if I get creative, maybe something else. We'll see. We're at Luan, a amazing bar in Chinatown, Montreal. And we're here because I'm going to show you guys how to make a Caesar, which is Canada's unofficial national drink. And the reason I went with a Caesar is beer would have been an obvious choice, so would sortilège, which is a maple whiskey. But because I really like bartending and I really like cocktails, I really want to make a Caesar for you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to rim our highball glass with celery salt. We're going to put a
few dashes of Tabasco. I like my Caesar spicy. Some Worcestershire sauce, which is a super difficult one to pronounce. Ice. Vitamin vodka. 1 nice ounce of that. And some clamato juice, which is tomato juice with clam broth in it. And the reason this is a Canadian drink is because you don't really have it in other countries unless there's a predominant Canadian population, just because the notion of clam broth in a cocktail is really strange. So unless it's something that you kind of grew up around, you're not going to really think to try it. But take my word for it, it is really yummy. Cheers, guys.
So, lastly, you've already had a teaser of this in my last video, but the sweet thing that I will be bringing with me is an obvious choice, maple syrup. It's probably our most valuable export. It is so delicious and it is good on everything. The way that I want you guys to experience it is in a way that you'll really appreciate it in its true form. So all you'll need is the syrup and a stick. Oh, and also some snow. Not sure how I'll make that happen in Bali, but squirrels are pretty crafty, so I'll make do. And now the sponsors for the best dive job in the world. Blue Seas in Bali, Patty, Aqualung, Sunto, Wonderpuss, Abyss World, Water Adventure Ocean Wide, Dive Masters Indonesia, Intova, The Menjengan, Air Bali, Pramasana Beach, Surface Marker, and Project Aware.